Plants take the nutrients they need from the soil. In turn, they are eaten by herbivores, which in turn are eaten by carnivores. This has been going on for hundreds and thousands of years. How does this keep going on? Shouldn't the nutrients in soil run out after some time, leading to an extinction of plants and therefore the animals that depend on them? How come this doesn't happen? Fortunately, soil doesn't run out of nutrients if nature is left to itself. Nature is a wonderful web of relationships that support each other. What plants and animals withdraw from the bank called soil, they also deposit back into the bank at some point of time. Thus, there is a healthy balance in the soil bank account, and they or their descendants can therefore continue to make withdrawals over a long period of time. Plants and animals also need water, and left to themselves, they have ways to help the soil and the ground to preserve clean water that comes from rainfall or other sources. Before we look at how soil doesn't run out of nutrients in the natural course of events, let us first understand what soil is. Soil is formed through the weathering of rock over long periods of time. It also has organic or carbon based content which have come into it from the remains of plants and animals. Finally, a lot of soil is actually living. It is teeming with small animals like earthworms and many microorganisms. The topsoil contains most of the living part of soil, and the subsoil has many minerals. In this discussion, we do not talk much about layers below the subsoil, as plant roots do not go lower than the subsoil. Now let's look at how soil is preserved over a period of time. How come topsoil does not get carried away by wind or rain or water into rivers, streams, and the ocean? And how is it that soil continues to have nutrients and water over long periods of time, which allows it to keep supporting plants and animals? The undergrowth in a forest or in a grassland, it binds the soil together. It also protects the soil from the direct effects of sun, water, and wind, which could blow off the topsoil or run off the topsoil into streams. Also, the plant litter in the ground breaks the rainfall into thin films of water. Earthworms, many burrowing animals, and literally millions of microorganisms are actively moving through the soil, ingesting various other small animals or other microbes in the soil, and their action and movement actually creates air spaces. Humus, which is the organic matter in soil, it helps the soil to clump and form into aggregates or lumps, and this creates kind of porosity in the soil. This porosity is a very important property of good soil. Porosity does two things for soil. One is it provides air spaces, and air is very important because roots need oxygen as well as all the other living organisms inside soil. Porosity also helps with the way water flows through soil, which we will look at through a very interesting video next. In the video, we saw how the right kind of soil helps us to get clean groundwater, as well as how it helps us prevent catastrophic floods by slowing down the rate of runoff on the soil. Now, let us look at how nutrients do not get depleted in the soil. That was the first question we asked when we started this lecture. Minerals are normally found in the subsoil, and plant roots absorb these minerals, and these minerals are taken to the leaves of the plants through transpiration currents. How come these nutrients do not get depleted? In a forest, there are many species of plants and many species of animals, and they produce vegetable and animal residue. The fungi and bacteria on the forest floor convert these into humus. Humus is organic matter which is decomposing very, very slowly. And over a period of time, the humus returns minerals to the subsoil. Now let's take a quick look at the entire system. So you have the forest canopy and undergrowth, providing the ground litter, protecting the soil from direct sun, water, and wind. You have earthworms, other burrowing animals, and microorganisms, which are helping to create pores in the soil. Humus, which is itself coming from plant and animal residue, is further helping this soil to clump in the form of aggregates. And all of this is helping to seep clean, clear water down into groundwater and streams. So, this is how nature preserves itself, soil being helped to preserve itself by plants and animals, providing further to plants nutrients, allowing the survival of animals. Everything is balanced and works beautifully.